piss water, funny story full episodes, Finger Family Song Nursery. Also, you'll notice a lot of the titles, the descriptions, the tags, it's kind of like this word soup. Once again, that's people taking advantage of the algorithm by using highly searched terms in their description. And there's a full disgusting rainbow of obscene and really inappropriate videos. There's a lot of tricking people into drinking pee, eating poop. You get stuff like Princess Rapunzel and Spider-Man buried alive, Venom poop, and you see what looks to be a bloodied Rapunzel with poop on her head. Also, if you're wondering why this is called Elsa Gay, but I haven't even mentioned Elsa yet, it's because I want you to know that this is much more than just a character from Frozen being in some weird video. A lot of the original weird, disturbing videos included someone either playing Elsa or an animation of Elsa. Frozen, of course, was one of the most popular pieces of children's entertainment in an incredibly long time. Frozen, the specific characters, the names of the songs, constantly searched. A lot of weird videos started with her, then people started including more characters like Spider-Man, Hulk, Joker. Honestly, any character you can imagine, there is probably a weird video like this out there. They have this video of Elsa apparently sick and Anna is trying to take care of her, so then they check her temperature rectally. Also, then Anna kisses Elsa. That video has 7.8 million views, and it is not even close to being their biggest. That same channel has another video with 20 million views. Once again, this is a kids' gentleman video. All the characters are drinking at a dance party, and it ends up with the characters waking up in bed together naked, partially clothed. Also, keep in mind, it's not just animation channel. Gotta give a shout out to the channel called Pranks Game. They actually feature live actors in what really just feels like softcore porn. In this video, Spider-Man versus Black Cat Girl starts off with this woman beating the shit out of Spider-Man in bed. Spider-Man then proceeds to stare at her chest. He then grabs her breast, causing Black Cat to bite her lip, then changes her mount position, continues to beat the shit out of Spider-Man. And then she has a dance party. Then Spider-Man fights back and gets on top of her. Black Cat fights back, she kicks him in the dick 3 times. 5.8 million views. And that's without going into their superhero love story where eventually Spider-Man and Black Cat, I don't know, it looks like they fuck on a couch. That's got 8.7 million views. And keep in mind, once again, that all of these tags, everything, it's geared towards kids. The channel Toy Scout is another fantastic weird example. They've done a masterful job of taking advantage of the algorithm. In the past 30 days, they've gained over 616,000 subscribers. They have 9.7 million subscribers on the channel. They have videos like this one. Everyone loves Spider-Man with Frozen Elsa, Minnie, Spider-Girl, Peppa Pig, and Joker in real life. Obviously, you see there they're taking advantage of the tags. 19.57 million views, 687 comments. Most people would look at those numbers and go, oh, that person's boosted. No, probably not. We're talking about kids that aren't participating in the comment section watching this video. In this video, by the way, it's hard to even explain what happened. Everyone's happy, and then, uh-oh, time to go world star on Elsa. Then Spider-Man's essentially naked. Then Rapunzel gets chloroformed by Joker and kidnapped. Then Chase, yes, I watch Paw Patrol, I have children. He gets stabbed in the ass with a needle. Then Rubble, once again, I told you, I watch Paw Patrol. He captures and then seemingly is trying to murder a minion. Oh, and a dinosaur. Then he abducts Peppa the pig. Some of the other videos that blew up on this channel, I just love the thumbnail. Princess Rapunzel versus nails through finger, oh my god. Princess Rapunzel got nailed through the foot. Spider-Man versus sharp nails on toilet. What the fuck is wrong with people? Also, some channels aren't even trying to hide it. Super Hermes TV has a video called Paw Patrol Babies Pretend to Die Suicide. Here's a little clip from that beauty. The response to most of this, especially as it's gained more and more traction in the news, has been, what the fuck? How can there be monetization issues? Things people are calling the adpocalypse when this is out there getting millions of views. There are a lot of people saying they were getting ads while watching these videos. In response to these kinds of videos, YouTube has put into place new policies. In June, when they issued new monetization policies, that included content that depicts family-friendly characters engaged in violent, sexual, vile, or otherwise inappropriate behavior, even if done for comedic or satirical purposes, is not eligible for monetization. Malik Ducard, the head of YouTube's Family and Learning content, said that the videos were, quote, the extreme needle in the haystack. Of course, many people's response to that was, how is this a needle in a haystack situation when you're talking about tens and sometimes hundreds of millions of views? There were people reporting that these videos were prominently featured on the YouTube Kids app. That was an app that acknowledged that there was really messed up content on YouTube and then said, hey, we're going to make sure the content is safe. But because the content isn't initially looked at by human beings, obviously the algorithm rules all on YouTube. These videos were getting through, and most importantly, they were getting through to children. But despite the changes, if you still search for certain terms, you find inappropriate videos. What we're seeing in general is that the videos have continued despite having to fight demonetization. This isn't great for YouTube because a lot of the mainstream outlets have been covering it. The New York Times putting out a piece on this earlier this month, writing on YouTube Kids, startling videos slip past filters. There was a post by James Bridle that blew up on Medium, saying these videos, wherever they are made, however they come to be made, and whatever their conscious intentions, i.e. to accumulate ad revenue, are feeding upon a system which was consciously intended to show videos to children for profit. The unconsciously generated emergent outcomes of that are all over the place. What we're talking about is very young children, effectively from birth, being deliberately targeted with content which will traumatize and disturb them via networks which are extremely vulnerable to exactly this form of abuse. And he was arguing that YouTube was causing infrastructural violence against children. So after this popped up in the news again, YouTube decided to respond again. Juniper Downs, YouTube's director of policy, saying, "We're in the process of implementing a new policy that age restricts this content in the YouTube main app when flagged. Adding age-restricted content is automatically not allowed in YouTube Kids." So how will this work? The first line of defense is the algorithm, right? And so based on how YouTube algorithms have treated you, your faith in this might be mixed. Then afterwards, people like yourself, if you see these videos, flag them as inappropriate. A human will then look at that video, determine if it's flagged properly. YouTube says they have thousands of members across the world to help, and if it's in the wrong, the video will be flagged and will become age-restricted. Then if the video becomes age-restricted, it won't be in the Kids app. Will all of that work? Maybe. I think if there was ever a fire that could get YouTube off its ass to do something, it's a, oh my god, we're showing horrible shit to children fire. And I will say, overall, so far, it does seem like the most horrid examples we've found have been taken off the Kids app. However, looking into it, it seems that companies issuing takedowns have been more effective than YouTube's system. This is because many of the horrendous videos have been taken down due to copyright claims and not because of age gating. Ultimately, the big problem of hoping people flag these videos is there is a reason that these videos got so many millions of views under so many people's radar. Adults aren't searching for this stuff. They're searching for like a regular, normal daddy finger song, and they pop that iPad in front of a kid, and then 20 minutes later, thanks to the algorithm, weird shit shows up. So unless people continue to be proactive, which is not going to be the case long term, this problem could still very easily continue and grow. And so while I think we can all make a temporary push to look for a lot of this weird content, flag it, see what YouTube does, what I would say is to my fellow parents out there, also to the brothers, the sisters, anyone who is responsible for a child, let's all try to take that extra minute to make sure we know exactly what our children are consuming online. And understand, I'm not trying to shame you. I think most people that downloaded the app were like, oh, okay, YouTube made it safe for my kid. But ultimately, like all things with your children, it all comes back to you. You're responsible, you gotta look out, and now that maybe you watch this video or someone forwarded this video to you, you know that there is an issue. And that's without even jumping into all the child exploitation. But we'll save that for another day. Of course, because this is the Philip DeFranco Show, I want to know your thoughts on this story. Also, what do you think YouTube could do better in situations like this? Or are you thinking, YouTube's doing their best, it's on the parent? Or a mishmash? I'd love to know your thoughts here. That's where I'm going to end today's show. Also, remember, if you like this video, you like what I'm trying to do on this channel, you want to support independent media, be sure to go to DeFrancoElite.com, sign up, become a member of the nation. Also, if you missed yesterday's Philip DeFranco Show, you want to catch up, click or tap right there to watch that. Or if you want to watch the newest behind-the-scenes vlog, click or tap right there to watch that. But that's it, of course. As always, my name's Philip DeFranco. You've just been filled in. I love yo faces, and I'll see you next time.
This episode of ETC is brought to you by Justice League. Get your tickets now at fandango.com/Justice League.
Hello, and welcome to a kind of fucked up episode of Tech News Day.
Yeah, it's something we have to talk about, so we took the whole episode pretty much. It's definitely been an interesting year for YouTube when it comes to the question of how to allow this platform to thrive, but it seems like the past decade's worth of problems have all come crashing down rapidly this year. Aside from the typically expected problems of oversaturation and large companies digging themselves into a platform that once prided itself on being an outlet for literally anyone with a webcam, there were other more critical issues.
As we're damn sure you're aware by now, earlier this year, the ad-pocalypse happened. Apocalypse of ads. That was the result of a very public display of poor taste on the platform's most famous creator. Regardless of context or comedy or misjudgment or whatever you want to call it, this issue is what caused a number of large advertisers to finally take a step back and realize that they were just throwing money at YouTube without really understanding exactly what their products were supporting. It could be a simple Roblox gameplay video, or it could be a Swedish guy getting millions of views on a video where he pays poor people to hold up a sign that says death to all Jews.
A real crapshoot of what you're gonna get.
Sometimes you get this, sometimes you don't.
In the months that followed, YouTube seemingly scrambled to lock down the platform and make it a safe environment for advertisers to return. They enabled what appeared to be far stricter and sometimes overreaching algorithms that would take certain videos out of the potential pool for advertisers. This method was potentially great in theory because they could weed out offensive videos that most people would agree couldn't possibly be something a brand would want their name attached to. The problem was that it was literally hitting everything down to the most innocuous and brand-safe content,
including art. There's no doubting that people and companies who had built entire careers around content creation were negatively affected to the point of giving up or getting fired. We've literally seen it because it's the industry that we're in. People lost jobs, people deserted their channels, and yet, kids online didn't really understand because creators were expected to do this all for free and somehow continuing to live completely normal lives, pay bills, live somewhere, and sometimes enjoy a hot meal.
Yeah.
You should be happy people are watching.
As the months went on, the team at YouTube gave updates about this algorithm and stated that it was learning to decipher the difference between what actually is and isn't suitable for ads, thanks to manual reviews that users can submit for their videos if they think they were inadvertently struck. That would then teach the algorithm if it was wrong, and it would learn. They stated that it is getting better and would theoretically be back to normal at some point, and maybe even better than before, because it would accurately hit all the bad stuff, leaving more potential for the content you already enjoy to find monetary incentives. Well, if you thought that first adpocalypse was bad, maybe you ain't seen nothing yet, because it is missing some real bad stuff. Stuff that is going into its YouTube Kids ads.
Yeah, you thought World War I. Just as the dust was finally starting to settle from advertising protests based around content that was no doubt geared towards teenagers. There is a much bigger, much darker problem looming on the horizon. It's finally starting to break now on mainstream publications. You might have heard over the past year or two about those videos where kids' cartoons would be edited and redone to be violent or offensive, and you might have heard or seen those weird Elsa and Spider-Man videos that make absolutely no fucking sense, but are targeted at children because of their use of highly recognizable characters. It's pretty ironic that people like PewDiePie and H3H3 Productions were some of the first to bring these channels to light simply because of how ridiculous the content was, only to have their own channels targeted in the adpocalypse as unmonetizable.
But what lies underneath the surface of douchebags like the Bradburys dressing up as these characters and doing weird shit is a lot more sinister. And to his credit, Ethan at H3H3 did catch one of the darker versions of what's out there in a video that he did way earlier this year where he and Hila spoke about a channel called Children's Joy TV.
Sounds sick.
Which featured, among other things, baby dolls getting injected with syringes and weird defecation-based clips involving other baby dolls.
Adorable.
The problem is, this is a much larger issue than a few rogue channels, and most people, us included, are finally starting to actually look into this weird, dark underbelly of kids' content on the platform.
Well, after doing some digging last weekend based on something that we'd seen Funhouse discussing on one of their podcasts, we started to notice a crazy pattern of children's content on the platform. Now, there are thousands and thousands of videos, seemingly harmless videos, that are like hour-long versions of Wheels on the Bus or Itsy Bitsy Spider, a lot of which are either using the YouTube-provided royalty-free audio track found in their creator section, or it's people singing the songs in heavy Eastern European accents over low-quality animations that are most likely the result of a program that automatically produces cartoons with drag and drop tools.
Yeah, these could be the result of an algorithmic content creation thing. Not exactly nefarious, except for the fact that they're trying to make money off of dumb children and their dumb parents. But whatever. These channels are, for whatever reason, absolutely massive, and they get a ton of views, which makes some sense because you realize that parents would just put a tablet down in front of their kids and, oh, YouTube's Kids app. There you go.
Keep 'em safe.
Thanks, Google.
Now I don't have to be a parent. Google's
If I can trust Google sitting there in my home, telling me the weather, making sure everything's okay, why can't I trust it with my
favorite part of it.
lack of responsibility? So yeah, a parent would put their kid down and be like, oh look, shapes, colors. They're gonna learn the colors and the shapes, and you know what?
And maybe autoplay, so we can just keep this thing running.
I'm gonna go make dinner. Yeah,
4 or 5 videos later.
Yeah, they would let their kid hypothetically watch nursery rhymes and all that stuff for an extended period of time, but then the algorithm kicks in. And videos loosely related by tags will start showing up, or maybe even the channel itself, which is the case sometimes. Maybe you're just searching for something, then based off the tags, and what seems like paid views that help drive legitimate traffic to these videos, you end up inadvertently showing your kid one of these completely inappropriate and frankly very creepy channels, like the baby injection one that H3H3 featured.
There's a lot of injections out there. What's with all the inject?
And the bad baby, and yeah, there's a lot. Let's
Poop and pee.
Yes.
Anyway, the rabbit hole goes extremely deep. There are, again, thousands of videos from what appear to be channels that have nothing to do with one another, that all use the same sort of video titles and tags that might or may not have anything to do with the content, similar thumbnails too. And once you step away from the cartoon and doll stuff, it gets even worse. We're live action now, baby. I take this with a huge grain of salt because the subreddit that we're about to mention is littered with conspiracy theories which may or may not turn out to be true, but nevertheless the subreddit Elsagate has a community that points out videos that seem downright predatory.
Yeah. We're gonna let you know about the examples, but we're gonna hold back on showing too much because honestly, it's fucked up. This was a very hard episode to write.
Not happy vibes.
No. Now, it's important to note that these videos, they are targeted at children, and they're made entirely in order to game YouTube's algorithm to make ad revenue. At best, they're taking advantage of a system YouTube has provided in order to make loads of money, but at their worst, they exist to corrupt children at an age where they're at their most vulnerable. There are hundreds, if not thousands, of versions of something called Finger Family, and tons of channels dedicated to this nursery rhyme, but down the line you'll get to videos and channels like this one. It's Toys in Japan, who has Hitler Finger Family, alongside other videos like 5 little whatever's jumping on the bed. They use that nursery rhyme and put different things into it. There's a ton of these videos. They're potentially being shown thanks to inadvertently giving your kid access to a different one, like, oh, 5 little monkeys jumping on the bed. There you go. I remember that rhyme from a kid. Here you go. It's on a channel. Then it starts auto-playing, or it just plays one long video, and by the end of it, it's a completely different video. Here's what else is on the channel.
Yeah, on this channel alone, there's 5 little Black Hulk Donald Trumps jumping on the bed. Learn colors with syringe injection, big hip with a needle going into an ass right there. Multiple Finger Family videos featuring CGI women with big old breasts. All of this with broken English, singing over them and raking in upwards of 5 million views a month. There's another called Superstar TV with a video called Princesses Pretend to Die by Drinking the Wrong Urine, Funny Pranks, Finger Family Song Nursery Rhyme, where the thumbnail's literally a kid pissing into a trough and a girl on the other side pouring his urine into a cup to drink it. There are numerous other violent or pornographic versions of these characters on their channel, and this is just the animated stuff. Again, might just be a fucking robot making this. We don't know. It gets even weirder when you get into live action. Yes, those dumb Bradbury boys trying to cash in on a weird little trend is actually just the surface of some insanely dark shit. We honestly think they might be too stupid to realize that by attempting to cash in on what they see as goofs or pranks and aiming an algorithm, they might actually be aligning themselves with child predators online.
Hey, Bradburys, wake the fuck up.
What did they say? It's time to stop.
Yeah. Now, here are just a few examples. Good Baby Toys. This features adults and children in violent and overtly sexual scenarios. Video titles like Joker Drink Urine, Little Baby Spider-Man, and Elsa Frozen. That video has 9 million views. Game Piss Away Spider-Man versus Elsa Black Spider-Man. Joker Kidnap 2 Baby. Elsa Shower in Blood Pool. Batman Eat Shit, Shit Sticky Face Elsa and Mouth Anna, and Frozen Elsa and Spider-Man Drink Urine Under Sand.
I mean, a lot of these sound like they were written by a 4-year-old. Like, what if you could make a video about anything, what would you make? Oh, Spider-Man and poo-poo pee-pee. You got it, kid.
You gotta wonder if... What I think... It's hard to say, because I do think this is nefarious and evil. But I do think that they're specifically using tags almost as if one video got popular and then they hit the auto-predict text on the next one. So if there was like a video of a doll using the toilet or whatever, and it's like potty training, and that's like a huge video because parents are trying to learn how to potty train their kids or something, and they're going into the algorithm being like, okay, potty train, piss, bad, love, shit, wipe, or like whatever. It seems like a fucking auto-predict title based on tags that are for some reason gaining traction, and then they make the videos based off of those. They're like, oh, let's try to make a coherent thing based off these tags.
It's classic SEO. Weaponized.
Gone wrong. Here's some more channels.
Yeah, here's Little Drama Kids, which has videos like Bad Kids and Bad Monkey Attacks. That one has a kid and they're wrestling around. He spanks her and then he shoves a banana in her mouth forcefully.
When he spanks her, the camera zooms in on her ass. Then he pulls her hair back and her, like, boobs are in the shot.
Yeah.
It's really fucking weird.
Yeah, and they got a lot of their thumbnails have that lady's ass in kids' faces, and then ones where the kids are tied down or trapped. Family stuff.
Here's one, Learn Colors With. It's one of the first ones that we saw, and where we thought people were just making stupid learn colors and shapes and letters videos. It's like, oh, yeah, it's for babies.
Yeah.
What's the big deal? But then we scrolled through some of their videos. Now, this is extremely disturbing because it's a perfect example of putting on what a parent thinks is an educational video and then ending up in a corresponding video from that exact channel, but it's this one, Bad Baby with Tantrum and Crying Learn Colors with Injections, where an actual child eats too much candy, gets sick, and then takes multiple colorful injections into her rear end from a young boy playing doctor. That video has 24 million views.
here's another channel, which is seemingly identical. Toys to Me! This features the exact same thing throughout another video.
It's the same thing.
These videos are impossible to watch. I need to report on all of these channels because it's literally fucking disgusting that this is not only on this platform, but that it's aimed at children. It's getting millions of views with ads on it.
Yeah, consistently through all of these videos, there are clear patterns and topics that they all follow. Injections, bad baby or bad kids, lots of bodily fluid stuff, and violence. And it's all under the guise of being educational, because it'll be like, there was one where it was like, count human poo colors, and it's like duty, but different colors. There are a number of very confusing things about all of them. How is YouTube letting all of this slide at such a large scale? How can they find a swear word or a mention of war in any number of news or gaming videos and demonetize that, but have nothing in place for this or even mention it? How are these videos getting such massive view counts? Is it children and lazy parents? Are they buying bots to watch in order to get views that rank it higher in the algorithm?
And YouTube has no fucking excuse here either. If you go on Social Blade or any of those sorts of
There's a bunch on MCNs.
Yeah, you look at what the top performing channels of the last month are, they're all there.
Yeah.
YouTube cannot plead fucking ignorance here. They know what's happening and they're not doing it.
And worst of all, it's on their kids' app.
Yeah. Anyway, there's a lot of questions that YouTube's gonna need to answer in the very near future regarding these videos and channels, especially to parents. Because it's getting traction.
It was on the BBC today.
On the BBC.
It was on Guardian. Yeah, there's a bit of coverage. It started with one, and we'll get to it. There was an interview with one of their head of families at Google where it's like, yeah, we're looking into the Peppa Pig stuff.
Yeah, you're like a year late. Anyway, like we said before, even the more innocuous stuff, it's all technically paid for by Google and YouTube through ads. In one way or another, YouTube is kind of enabling it. That's not to say that they haven't done anything about it, because recently they did mention that they will take any videos flagged by users out of the algorithm for its YouTube Kids standalone. But in all of the articles that we saw discussing this, YouTube reps never acknowledged much outside of the ones breaking copyright infringement like Peppa Pig. Yeah. With a rep even saying that all those inappropriate videos are a needle in a haystack. No, they're not. A needle is hard to find in a haystack.
This is the haystack. The good ones are the needle. Injection, baby.
Like finding a
It's like finding a syringe in a baby bum. How could we have known? But with hundreds of channels pumping out inappropriate shit for kids that is garnering millions upon millions of views, like we said, surely there has to be something more to this than relying on user support and hoping that parents will constantly monitor their kids. Yeah, parents should monitor everything that their younger kids watch. But when you have a company pushing an app that appears to be kids safe, it's right there in the title, yet it exposes them to this shit, something is fucking wrong.
Man, parents are stupid, isn't that right?
You know how much money one of these channels, like, if they get away with it for a year, they're making hundreds of thousands of dollars.
They at least have enough to invest in some better Elsa and Spider-Man. Anyway, Jesus Christ. So there's way more to this. We implore you. If you see something, say something. You got the report button right there. So report anything that you see that's fucked up out there and marketed at kids. Because, by God.
Yeah.
Well, I'm in need of some lighter fare. Yeah. Luckily, Rigo, what an important thing.
Yeah. Usually he's the one doing the sad, depressing news. This week it's the other way around.
He loves his big, expensive iPhone X. He's riding around on 15, chomping on cigars. Let's find out.
What could go wrong?
Let's find out how that phone's doing now.
I reviewed the iPhone 10 on this show 1 week ago, and guess what? If you ask the internet, shit sucks! We have a Vietnamese researcher who has already hacked Face ID. What does that even mean? Turns out they printed this weird mask that looks like a cross between something the Invisible Man would wear and a mummy and a serial killer would reconstruct, and apparently it blows Apple's new face track and Face ID on the security measure right out of the water. They said, what, 50,000? A million people would put their face in front of this thing, and you wouldn't be able to unlock the phone? And these guys did it with some arts and crafts stuff? Well, it seems a little bit sketchy because they're not fully giving all the details about how they made it and how they set up Face ID. And on the other side of the aisle, you've got Apple being equally sketchy because they simply haven't responded. They've kind of pointed to some PR measures. So what I think is that Face ID really isn't perfect, and Apple's just playing the PR route, and these mask-making people who did this for $150 are just looking for some spotlight. Wait, what's that, Phil? Another person has hacked it? It's a child? Yes, this mother let her son play with her phone, and guess what? He's got a bunch of her DNA in his genes and his tiny little face, which, yeah, he does really look a lot like her if you ask me. Sorry, I'm siding with the iPhone on this one. He can unlock it. She was quoted as saying she doesn't want to disable Face ID because it's convenient. Hey lady, you're a parent. Being a parent is not convenient at all. Just you haven't even had this phone for like 2 weeks? Go return it for the one with the thumbprint sensor on it, or disable Face ID. Jesus Christ, she's a terrible parent. Oh wait, do you hear that? Those are the green bars appearing on people's iPhone 10 screens. Yes, whether it's on the left side or the right side, people who've dropped $1,000 or more are all pissed because their iPhone 10s have a little strip of green pixels. We don't know what it is. Apple hasn't said anything about it, and we've had over 25 people claim on Twitter that this is happening, and sometimes it's magenta, and sometimes it goes away when you restart it, and sometimes it switches sides. But Phil, you ask, what about you?
Yeah, where's your phone?
Where's my iPhone 10? Well, I'll tell you. It's in a FedEx box. It got shipped back to T-Mobile because my screen stopped responding altogether. Now, it is going to take 4 to 6 weeks for me to get a new one. I want to touch you right in the face as you laugh at me. I really don't care in the sense that, like, I'm not really a fanboy where I need the fucking thing. I thought it'd be cool to review. It was neat to play with, but I want a phone that actually works. And after hearing about all these problems happening with this first batch, I'm really not upset that I'm dealing with screen gate or green bar gate or, you know, my non-existing 10-year-old son unlocking my phone with his stupid 10-year-old face. So the lesson to be learned from all this is whether you're looking at the Pixel 2 with the screen burn-in or the problems over there or the iPhone or your Xbox or your PlayStation or whatever you're getting, is that first-generation gadgets a lot of times have bugs in the software, they have bugs in the hardware, and if you really, really, really don't need the thing on day one or as a Christmas present or to impress someone that you'll work with, Elliot, I would say wait on the goddamn thing, save some money when it gets cheaper, wait till they patch the software, wait till the first run of hardware is out there, and you know what? You're gonna have a much better experience. So when I get my new iPhone 10 in 4 to 6 weeks, hopefully before Santa Claus comes and brings me a big lump of coal, I'll be able to do those stupid face emojis to you. And that, motherfuckers, is a rat fact.
The iPhone X, it's not the iPhone 10.
I'm sorry, iPhone 9. Where's the iPhone 9, huh? You know, the government doesn't want you and Alex Smith to know about Alex Jones.
All right, thanks, Phil. Sounds like you're having a little bit of trouble. I'm still rolling with the original Pixel. They made it too good. Anyways, yeah, that was a crazy kind of story that we had to cover in the beginning of the show today, and it was important to get it out, so we wanted to, and that kind of consumed everything else. There was a couple more stories that kind of fell by the wayside, but we'll be back at it next week, and another section with Phil as well. So thanks for joining us today. Again, if you have friends who are parents, if you're a parent yourself, just make sure to let them know that this is actually a thing that could be happening and to monitor what their kids are watching. I think they'd be surprised to see what they find.
Netflix has a kids app.
Use that one.
That shit's all vetted.
Yeah. Anyways, that's it for this week's show. Elliot, what you doing?
Well, we had our little Monday show where we talked about we envisioned a world without Twitter.
And how glorious it might
would
be.
be nice. Also on a recent episode of News Dump, is Disney buying Fox? Probably not, but what if they did?
And guess what? Pens aren't down is what they said, so it could actually happen.
The ink is ready.
Check those out. Follow us on Twitch, twitch.tv/etc_show, and we'll see you guys next time.
Bye.
Hey guys, time for Weekly Weird News.
So it turns out while we were putting together this week's Tech News Day and focusing on boring shit like tax dodging schemes used by multinational tech companies and Russian government-funded social media election trolling, we missed out on a real news whopper about Facebook. They've finally done it. They have cracked the code to definitely stopping revenge porn, the despicable practice of spreading spreading someone's personal nude photos, usually in order to hurt their reputation and cause them emotional distress. The solution? Send nudes to Facebook.
What could go wrong? A lot, actually. But the plan, it's technically sound. Basically, if nudes exist and you're worried about them someday getting posted to Facebook by someone you've shared them with or someone who has gained access to them, the only way Facebook will ensure that those photos can never be posted onto their platform is to first know what those photos look like. And the only way for that to happen is for you to voluntarily upload these photos.
Yeah, it's like the same way like police drug dogs. How do you think they know what cocaine smells like?
You just gotta give them a little sample. You would assume by this point that Facebook would be able to analyze uploaded photos and say, that's a penis, or that's a naked woman.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Just ban all nudity
They don't need
on
to know
Facebook.
what
I don't know.
I'm with you here, yes.
Our algorithm needs to make sure that that mole is attached to the hip bone of that vagina, and that can identify it via algorithm. There's a guy on Facebook who just has nudes printed out on a wall. He's just tying string around birthmarks and stretch marks. Clearly this is a pregnant woman's belly.
Not a big nipple.
Yeah.
But yeah, come on, guys. You can trust us. Mark Zuckerberg ever done you wrong? So anyway, yeah, Facebook insists that this new service, which is rolling out first in Australia in partnership with the Australian government, is totally safe. Yes, you're uploading potentially damaging nude photos of yourself to a faceless corporation, but they pinky swear that it will only ever be looked at by an AI to make a digital footprint. And the actual file that you've uploaded through the internet will not be stored anywhere. So no one's looking at your nudes, guys. Calm down. Let the robot look at you.
You know, this is going to be great for pornography companies. Protecting their copyright. Uploading hours of pornography and pornography-related images.
I mean, that's what YouTube uses for non-porn.
It's going to be great for them. Larry Flint is very happy about this.
I'm Larry.
It's a good impersonation. I almost thought Elliot was gone. Anyways, this is all except according to at least one digital forensics expert that Motherboard talked to, Leslie Carhart. They say it's not really that simple. She said, quote, yes, they're not storing in copies, but the image is still being transmitted and processed, leaving forensic evidence in memory and potentially on disk. My specialty is digital forensics, and I literally recover deleted images from computer systems all day, off disk and out of memory. It's not trivial to destroy all trace of files, including metadata and thumbnails.
But yeah, using this new feature does require you to trust that Facebook employees aren't the type of people to use recovery tools to find files that have been technically deleted but aren't actually gone, which, okay, probably something that you could safely assume, using the words probably and assume when talking about the safety of nude photos of you that you just uploaded to the internet. It is probably, we assume, not enough reassurance for a lot of people.
Yeah, and you're dealing with employees of the company. Now, I thought it was funny that a Twitter employee deleted Donald Trump's account on the way out, but imagine if that employee that was leaving was like, you know what, I'm going to take half the nation's naked pictures with me as I leave.
Yeah.
Trust is a funny thing. Trust. Anyways, I can't wait to see the new thing that you have to click where it's like, acknowledge all these terms and conditions. Back to the real story here. Motherboard, they reached out to Facebook for more details on how this works. And the more you hear about this, the more surprised, absurd it gets. Turns out, rather than using some sort of secure website or page specifically for uploading your nudes, to use the feature, you have to use Facebook Messenger to start a conversation with yourself, send yourself a photo, and then flag the photo as a non-consensual intimate image. This won't get abused at all by trolls on the internet. The photo is then automatically blurred to some degree. A member of Facebook's community operations team who looked at it and manually confirmed that the image is in violation of Facebook's policy.
So, yeah, a human is actually looking at the photos. I mean, it's blurred, but if it's, I don't know, a big close-up of your dick or your boobs or something, they're gonna have to pretty good. On the other hand, if your pic is, I don't know, say, a really wide shot featuring you standing off in the background, just with your dick out, surrounded by waifu pillars, Facebook employee might not be able to see through all the blur that anything here is a myth. They could just assume it's a false flag, and then, sure as shit, there you are on the internet with your dick out next to a bunch of waifu pillars. There's also the fact that you have to start a conversation with yourself to get this all started. So we estimate there is a 100% chance that at least one idiot is going to accidentally send their news to someone else in the friends list with a similar name, thus defeating the purpose of all this.
Well, like, what if it's a picture of like jizz all over someone's like tummy?
Yeah.
Like that's not naked, but is
And
someone from
it
Facebook
could
gonna have
be
to
conditioner.
Yeah, is someone from Facebook gonna have to be like, hey, yeah, that's jizz. That's jizz, all right. I'm like, you can't really blur it and then send it to them like that.
True.
What about face jizz?
Yeah, a lot of face jizz out there.
Lots of face jizz out. You see, it's flawed immediately. Facebook thinks that these people are all leading some vanilla sex life.
They're in for a surprise.
Oh my god!
Originally released on DOS in 1992, Wolfenstein 3D is a landmark first-person shooter that single-handedly kicked off the genre. It wasn't the first first-person shooter, but nothing before it came close to looking or playing this good. It was a game that very quickly aged out, though. It followed up with Doom just a year later, which was a seismic leap in graphics and gameplay. Still, its legacy has endured. Wolfenstein has seen numerous spin-offs and reboots. 2017's The New Colossus will mark its 25th year. 36th if you count the 1981 game Wolfenstein 3D was technically a remake of. Like id Software's other landmark games, Doom and Quake,